Good morning and welcome back to North Dakota Today. And today we are talking credit scores with Tony from Capital Credit Union. Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me back.
Of course. So first of all, what is a credit score?
So I think we all know credit scores used for a few different things. Mostly, when people think of credit scores, you think of, am I going to get this loan? And it's not only am I going to get the loan, it's risk-based. So if I have a lower score, your rate's going to be higher. Especially rates are kind of sneaking up on everybody. But that lower score is going to make a big difference between maybe a 5 or 6% car loan to a 9 or 10% car loan or higher. So the credit score really goes into that when we think of that. But some of the other things that I think we don't think about every day is insurance. The lower the credit score, you might be charged a little bit more for your auto and home insurance. Other things too, when I go give talks to high schools and other groups and whatever, I talk about, when you rent, you may not be able to get the place that you want or get the home loan. So it's not only going to affect what you pay for credit, it's going to affect where you live. And then a lot of employers now are pulling credit scores. So that may inhibit you from getting a job. So when we look at credit scores, we just don't think, oh, it's just for the loans. It kind of affects everything. Kind of, am I going to get that apartment if I have collections out and some lower credit? Am I going to get the job I want? So when we talk credit scores, it kind of goes over a lot of facets.
Yeah, wow, I didn't realize that it was so multidimensional like that. Oh my goodness.
Right.
So how are credit scores calculated?
So credit scores are calculated, about a third of it, or 35%, is on-time payments. So the biggest thing I say, even if you make the minimum payment, you want to make sure that you're at least making that minimum payment. Yeah. Say the credit card, you can't pay it off in full, at least make the minimum payment. And it doesn't get reported to the credit bureau until it's 30 days late. So even if you're, say you missed the grace period on a credit card, you just want to make sure that you pay it within 30 days so it doesn't hit the credit score. And then one of the ones that can fluctuate the most is capacity. So this is probably the most intricate part. So say you have a $1,000 credit card and you owe $700. So you're 70% maxed out on your credit. You'd get 30 points toward your credit score. So it depends on the total of all your credit cards and how much revolving room you have. So one of the biggest things you can do for short term, if you can pay down some of that revolving debt, I know it gets harder with the economy lately, to boost the credit score. So you really want to watch how much utilization, they call it, on the credit cards.
Wonderful. Well, I certainly didn't know that. That is so interesting. How can viewers who are maybe watching at home improve their credit score? So
the other thing is, we talked about kind of the two big ones, make sure it's on time,
yes,
and the other one. Some of the other ones are inquiries. So I always use this example when I talk. Say I have Friday off work and I go to a store, and what do they say? Do you want to sign up for a card? Well, that's a credit check, and then if you open a new account, you can lose anywhere from like 10 to 20 points. So say I have a 700 score at the beginning of the day, and I do this 4 or 5 times, I may drop my score possibly 40 or 50 points. So that good car loan rate may become a little bit lower. So you just want to make sure, especially if you're going to make big purchases, that you don't overheat your credit, I call it. So did I do anything wrong if I did that? Not really, but you kind of overheated it. So you really want to be cautious about applying for 10 different cards online and making sure that you really keep an eye on your inquiries on there. And then some of the other things is just the blend of installment loans, like a car loan is an installment loan, and the blend of revolving accounts like credit cards. And then the last is just the length of time. So if you're 19, you probably don't have a lot of credit history. So if you have that really old credit card, even if you don't use it and then there's no annual fee, I always say, keep it open because you've had that for 20 years, say.
Well, that is so interesting. I know I definitely learned something.
Yep.
So how can people contact you if they want to learn more?
They can contact us at capcu.org. Our 13th Avenue branch is getting a renovation, so we do have our drive-through, and the tellers, you can go inside. The loan officers, we're all at Veterans right now for maybe 4 or 5 weeks. They can reach out to us. And then also, I do a lot with high schools, going out talking credit scores and everything. I really enjoy that. Kind of switched companies lately over to Capital, and but if teachers want to reach out for like the living on their own classes, please reach out to us. Love to come out and educate some of the students.
Well, that is just wonderful. I love how you're educating the future too on these things, because it could be things that a lot of people don't know.
Absolutely.
Wonderful. Well, thank you, Tony. It's always an honor having you on.
Yeah, always. Thanks for having me.
Yes, coming up on today's show, we have Cooking with Cashway.